What is up, my friends? How are we? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda news roundup. Obviously, today was a disappointing one. The Merseyside Derby was postponed, and I'm going to try and figure out when exactly we could see this fixture played. We're also going to be speaking a little bit about Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk and their contract situation, as well as Liverpool being linked with an Argentinian left-back. That and a few other interesting bits and pieces coming up over the next few minutes. But as always, we want to know your thoughts, so do let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. If you have a look to the top corner of the screen, you will see that we are closing in on 285,000 subscribers. Every one of you that hits that button means the world to us, so thank you for your continued support. Right, let's get straight into when we may see the Merseyside Derby. So, looking at it, it seems as if it could depend on when we get through in the Champions League. So, as an example, if Liverpool were to finish in the top 8 places in the Champions League group, that would mean that we would then avoid the playoff round, meaning that there is a potential there for the fixture against Everton to be pushed into that slot. So, if we do finish top 8, you could be looking at February the 11th, 12th, or February the 18th, 19th as possible dates for that. New Year's Day has also been mentioned by a couple of people as another potential alternative, but this seems to be the most likely one. So that would mean obviously we've got to go and beat Girona and make sure that we do indeed cement our place in the top 8 of the Champions League group stage. But other than that, there's slim pickings with possible availability, so that is the most likely one from what we can gather. Now, of course, today as well, we want to just mention briefly Michail and his car crash. We're just going to read out a statement that was put out there, and of course, we at Anfield Agenda, all Liverpool fans and everybody else in the footballing world, wishes Michail, West Ham and his family, of course, nothing but a speedy recovery. We were all very concerned when we seen those images of his car crash, but thankfully, as you'll find out now, at least he is conscious. So let's read out what West Ham have had to say. West Ham United can confirm that Michail is in a stable condition following a road traffic accident this afternoon in the Essex area. Michail is conscious and communicating and is currently under close supervision at a central London hospital. At this difficult time, we kindly ask everyone to respect the privacy of Michail and his family. The club will make no further comment this evening, but will issue a further update in due course. And again, just to reiterate, sending all of our love and best wishes to Michail and his family. So, I did mention at the start of the video we were going to be talking about a young Argentinian left-back as well as the Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah contract. So let's firstly talk about this young left-back. So our friends at LFC Transfer Room posted earlier on today to say, just in, Lanús, which are an Argentinian club, left-back Julio SOLER, 19 years of age, will be playing his last game for the Argentinian club today. His arrival to the Premier League is getting closer. They go on to say then that last week they reported a story claiming that River Plate were trying to make advances on him, knowing that both Liverpool and Manchester United were the clubs ahead of them in the queue for the left back. If so, SOLER could potentially be a new addition or one of two. So for me, I don't know enough about him, but if you're bringing in a 19-year-old left back, it's not really the here and now type player, is it? So, keep an eye on it, but I don't know how true this is or not. Obviously, other left-backs we've been linked to quite strongly. Milos Kerkez of Bournemouth. There's been lots of talk in Hungary about that deal maybe happening. Aiton Yuri, that's gone a little bit cold, to be honest with you, but he was another name mentioned. So, that's kind of where we're at with the left-back search. Now, one thing I didn't mention at the start of the video, but that has come up today, have been links to Brighton's João Pedro. I think João Pedro's a fine footballer, let me say that, but he's missed a lot of football, and I wouldn't be comfortable that he would be a good enough fit to come into Liverpool and push us on. For me, if we do need to dip our toes in the attacker market, it's got to be Omar Marmoush, but I would see that we'd probably have to move somebody on from Liverpool. Now, I guess you're looking at two potential contenders there. Darwin Núñez, with probably the favourite at this point to be moved on, or maybe Diogo Jota. I think it is likely to be Núñez, but I guess the question I would have for you guys, if you're watching, is what type of numbers do you think Edwards and Hughes might be able to generate for Darwin Núñez? Because I would imagine Liverpool will end up taking a loss if they do indeed look to move him on. And would you look to do it in January, or do you think maybe with Marmoush playing with Frankfurt to the end of the campaign, that in the summer is a better possible alternative for that one. So again, don't really believe the links on João Pedro, but let us know. Did I say João Palhinha, by the way, a few minutes ago? If I did, apologies. I meant João Pedro of Brighton. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on that one. And the big story, which I really hope is true, comes from Football Insider, who say Salah is likely to sign a new Liverpool contract following positive talks with the club. Now, if you tally this with the Egyptian former national team player and pundit for beIN Sports saying that he's spoken with Mohamed Salah, congratulated him on his new contract with Liverpool, I hope that this is right. I very much hope that we get that good news soon. Now, I've not seen too many people rubbishing all of this stuff, so certainly it's good vibes around the Salah situation, but we're going to have to wait and see if that is confirmed. But it's always better to read positive things than negative things, but until you get the absolutely bona fide announcement, yeah, you're still a little bit concerned. A little bit more on this, the report also mentions Virgil van Dijk along with Mohamed Salah as the player who is close to agreeing a new deal with the Premier League leaders. Now, we do think that Van Dijk's going to be very close. Some people have gone a bit further and said that they believe Van Dijk is signed. I don't have that information personally, but I do think we will see Virgil van Dijk committing to a new deal at Liverpool. I certainly do hope that the stories around Mohamed Salah are correct. But then that leaves us with the one big question, the one big elephant in the room. What's going on with Trent? As we've said many times here on the channel, we've seen lots of stuff from Mo and Virgil to say they want to stay, but we've not really heard anything from Trent yet. Now, that doesn't mean that Trent definitely wants to go, but it would be nice, as David Lynch said when we did the video together, if he came into the mix zone or something after one of Liverpool's games and said, look, my priority is to remain here at Anfield. I want to win everything I can here. I continuously want to go on. I want to go on and be the club captain and all this stuff. And then we can put the pressure back on the club to get the contract sorted out. That is my ideal scenario here. But I also do respect and understand that Trent wants all of these negotiations to be done privately and respectfully behind the scenes. It's just difficult as a fan, isn't it, to watch on and not know, because the idea of maybe losing Trent on a free, it stings. Just even talking about it stings. So yeah, hopefully we get a positive outcome on it. But look, so far 2 of the 3 looking promising. If we can get a full 3 out of 3, that would be great. Then we go into the January window, and I guess the question I would have for you guys is, what's your priority for the January window? We were talking about this in the live show earlier on. Some people felt it was an attacker. Some people felt it was a defender. For me, I'm steadfast that we have to bring in a midfielder, whether that's Zubamendi, Baleba, or somebody who we haven't spoken about before. We also mentioned that young lad who was playing his trade in Torino as well. Samuel Ricci, his name was mentioned recently. So for me, whoever the club want, fair enough. But I do think we have to go into this January window nice and early and bring in a midfielder that will allow Arne to rotate Gravenberch a little bit, give him a breather, and give us the ammunition and the players that we need to go and make sure that we can have as good a season as we can. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow at Late Night Agenda. We'll have a news video coming out as well earlier on in the day. So we do hope you can join us for that one. We're recording the preview for the game against Girona, which will come out on Monday. And of course, a reminder, that game against Girona is an earlier kickoff for the Champions League. It's the 5:45 p.m. slot. So when we get the update around the Everton rescheduled fixture, of course we'll bring it to you as well as anything else. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Hope if you have been affected by Storm Dara as well, that all your families are safe and well, and appreciate all of your support on the channel. We'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye bye.